A long time ago, in a galaxy not so far away, victimhood became a form of currency, and labels of mental illness became badges of honor. It was in these tumultuous times that a new underclass was formed, a new marginalized identity known as the neurotypicals. These poor dregs who suffered the misfortune of being born without any kind of disability or mental illness were left with no choice but to become fakers. This is the story of fake disorder cringe. I've had this topic on my radar to talk about for a while, but an article was posted in the Wall Street Journal today with the headline, "Teen Girls Are Developing Tics. Doctors Say TikTok Could Be a Factor." And the subheading reads, "When teens started turning up in doctors' offices with sudden severe physical tics, specialists suspected social media. The girls had been watching Tourette syndrome TikTok videos." This headline did not come as a surprise to me, as for well over a year now, I have been following a subreddit called Fake Disorder Cringe, dedicated to this exact topic, which is more popular than you might think. At the time of this recording, the subreddit has over 160,000 followers. If you're a fan of my You Can't Stop Progress series, you will have seen the occasional video work its way in there from Fake Disorder Cringe. The concept is pretty straightforward. People who, for whatever reason, are mainly teenage girls pretend to have some kind of medical condition for either of a few different reasons, which we'll get into momentarily. Now, there are a variety of disorders that get faked. It's not just Tourette syndrome, although that is one of the more popular ones. I have a personal theory on that, which is that it might have something to do with the popularity of Sweet Anita. Sweet Anita, if you're not familiar, is a very popular Twitch streamer who is also on TikTok now with just under 2 million followers over there, and who suffers from Tourette syndrome, which is a very distinct aspect of her personality. It's what makes Sweet Anita stand out from all the other Twitch thoughts.
So it says, as a Twitch ambassador, get fucked. Wow, goodbye, bitch. Don't come back. It doesn't say that. Wow. It says you're a twat. It says, It says, wow, we're Twitch and we're everybody's bitch. And this is how I got unambassadored. This is it. They were like, we gave you stuff and we believed in you.
And so you have these young, impressionable girls seeing this, seeing the popularity, and then whether consciously or subconsciously, they start mimicking the behavior.
Oh God. Moving on. Send me to Canada. I'll get her a new one. Wow! 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 Eat the burrito. No. One for you. Woo! Woo! Pew! 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 Mine. 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 Nope. Nope. Nope.
The struggle is real, except when it's not. This phenomenon is very real. In a peer-reviewed paper published March of this year titled COVID-19 Related Increase in Childhood Tics and Tic-like Attacks, authors questioned the role of social media as having a causal role in this surge of new symptoms, writing, "There is some concern that social media and websites such as TikTok that promote the sharing of videos of influencers with symptoms may have a part to play. These sites appear to have exploded in popularity. For example, the site TikTok #Tourette's has 2.5 billion views, that's as of February 2021, having approximately doubled in viewing in the last month. Some teenage girls report increased consumption of such videos prior to symptom onset, while others have posted videos and information about their movements and sounds on social media sites. They report that they gain peer support, recognition, and a sense of belonging from this exposure. This type of social contagion with young girls is nothing new. We've seen it before with the rise in rapid onset gender dysphoria, and now we're seeing it again in what is almost certainly going to be the lesser of two evils if you want to look at the silver lining here. Of course, Tourette syndrome isn't the only source of fake disorder cringe. There is another suspect which might not seem as likely, and that is autism. And in order to understand why people are faking autism symptoms online, you have to know about stimming. Stimming is repetitive or unusual movements or noises. Stimming seems to help some autistic children and teenagers manage emotions and cope with overwhelming situations. Think of Rain Man rocking back and forth if you're looking for an example that you would recognize. Some of you may remember this video that did the rounds last summer of an autistic girl listening to music on her headphones and trying to deal with the sensory overload. This video went super viral, and the girl who goes by JWillFloat2 on TikTok now has 1.2 million followers on the platform. You have to keep in mind that not only do people with large TikTok followings get a lot of attention, but they can also earn money. And so we've seen lots of other girls doing their own videos where they're listening to music on headphones while stimming. I can't play the audio for you in these clips, unfortunately, because it'll get copyrighted on the video, but you can at least get some idea what it's like just from looking at what they're doing. Tourette syndrome is quite rare, and while autism is not that rare, both Tourette syndrome and autism affect boys at much higher rates than girls. But you would never know that if you were learning about these disorders from watching TikTok videos. In fact, you could be forgiven for thinking that the real common thread amongst autists and Tourette syndrome sufferers is that they're all very kawaii uwu, a fact which may be causing some people to develop an attraction towards girls with tics. I've seen evidence of this in at least one video where a girl who ostensibly has a real case of Tourette syndrome is responding to a comment from a fan telling her that it has essentially become a form of fetish.
I'm disabled. I like to be happy about, like, positive, but it's not like a good thing. It's not anything quirky or whatever. I'm disabled. Like, it makes me suffer. It's not very poggers, you know.
Now, I know what you're thinking, which is, LP, I came here to cringe, but so far you're mostly just doing a lot of talking. Have no fear, your patience is about to be rewarded. I've saved the best part for last, because where you get the truly exquisite cringe in fake disorder cringe is with the DID fakers. That's right, people pretending to have dissociative identity disorder, known more colloquially as multiple personality disorder.
I'm going to be passing the phone to somebody who always hogs the front. Okay, well, that was a little rude, but I'm going to be passing the phone to an alter who doesn't do their job. Okay, well, first of all, fuck you, Chris. And second of all, I'm going to be passing the phone to somebody who likes to try and get us high off of Sharpies and nail polish remover. Okay, well, first of all, I don't know what the fuck else I'm supposed to use, but, I guess I'm passing the phone to an overbearing gatekeeper. Okay, well, you know what? I wasn't planning on taking the front so soon, but that was really rude of you, Rupert. I am not overbearing. I'm just doing my job. But anyways, I am going to be passing the phone to my lovely girlfriend.
Hey, I'm the lovely girlfriend. I also don't really know what else to do from here, so I guess I'm just
That's the end of the video.
The DID stuff is a whole rabbit hole to go down. They have an entire set of jargon you would have to familiarize yourself with in order to understand the videos. For example, a system refers to a person with DID, and within the system there are alters, which are the various different personalities. When one personality switches to another, that is known as switching, and fronting refers to the personality that is currently in the driver's seat, so to speak.
Hi, I'm here with your favorite systems. This is Lethos System, Alexinus System, and Unholy System. We're drinking today, so we're gonna record every time one of us switches. Woo!
First switch is
Switch number one of the day.
first one. He's special. Ronan.
It's Ronan. It's the Ronan special.
Okay, well one just
We've
happened.
got another
Anthony.
switch as well.
Anthony. Oh God, your boyfriend's trying to.
And because my boyfriend's a little gay man, a little fruit, here he is.
Right.
Victor, legend.
I'm gonna kill you.
Don't do that. I'm too sexy.
All right. It's we
It's
have the other one.
boyfriend.
The
We
other
got
boyfriend.
We collected him.
It's Freddie.
Yeah. It's
And
catch 'em
also,
all.
this is Ronan. We went over that. Victor. Yeah. Oh,
It's Nala.
that's
Anthony.
That's
He's
Anthony.
out now.
Okay, what did I need to say again?
It's Dolly, your front.
It's Dolly. Do I have to say anything else?
No.
hello. It's Gwen. I just switched
And I'm
out.
Tian.
And that's
Hi.
Tian. Tian.
Yeah. Knife, say hi. Knife has switched out.
Jace.
And Jace has switched out. Wow. It's still Tian.
Hi, it's Dolly again. It is Anthony.
The girls who are partaking in this LARP, of course, never have an official diagnosis of DID, a fact which will rub them the wrong way if pointed out by others in the comment section, often prompting salty reply videos.
This is literally what we woke up to. This is the shit that we're talking about here. Like, regardless of whether or not we are factually correct, that's not the point anymore. It's not. At this point, the point is you people are intentionally interacting with us. Even though we have said do not interact with us, you actively cause trauma to us. You people are ignoring that. How do you think you're in the right here? How? Tell me how. I don't want to hear opinions about whether or not endogenics are real on this video. That is not what I care about right now. In the comments of this video, this is the one video that anti-endogenics y'all can interact with. Some anti-endogenic, explain to me how this is okay. Explain to me how this behavior is okay. We are saying, hey, whether we're incorrect or not, your group has caused us trauma. Anyone from this group, don't interact, please.
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to explain endogenic. You see, the actual dissociative identity disorder, which is extremely rare, is caused by severe childhood trauma. People experience things that are so awful that it fractures their personality as a coping mechanism. However, a lot of the fakers on TikTok obviously don't have that trauma, and thus they've created a term called endogenic, which is used to describe systems which originate without trauma. This is, of course, not recognized by the medical field. It's a completely made up thing. And so the anti-endogenics would be, the trolls in the comment sections who don't recognize the legitimacy of this made up disorder.
Hello, I'm also currently getting ready, so I'll try and answer this as fast as possible. I myself am not currently diagnosed with DID, but I am studying psychology, and from the extensive research I have done, I feel like I am able to self-diagnose confidently. But as for getting a diagnosis, all you really need to do is talk to a trusted therapist about it, and they don't tell your parents anything if you are worried about that. At first, I was really worried about telling people around me that I have DID because of how obscure it is and how misinformed people are, especially from movies. But you're going to start to realize that people really don't care if you give them the right information. And the people who are like, so you're not going to try and kill me, right? You really don't have to interact with those people at all. Just remember to take things at your own pace, and it's always okay to stop if needed. It's always up to you since you're the one struggling.
DID TikTokers have an endless supply of content because if they ever run out of things to do, they can always just make up a new alter and introduce them to the audience. Another pattern I've noticed is that these alters always tend to be the type of characters you might expect from like a young adult fantasy novel written by somebody trying to fulfill a diversity quota. I'm still waiting for somebody to introduce an alter who's a 45-year-old overweight middle-aged white guy who lays bricks for a living and is named Craig.
Hi, my name is Susie. You can call me Chalk if you want, or Arsenic. I'm new to the system, and, I can't fucking decide on a name. But my name is Susie. That's my original name. But I can't decide on what my preferred name is. My pronouns are they, she, he, I guess. I like he, him pronouns. I like she, her pronouns. I like they, them pronouns. I don't really care. Can you get off of me? Ugh. And apparently, the body is disabled. I can't kick people's ass anymore. Someone just suggested to me that I can hit them with this. Okay. Anyway, hi.
Yeah, that's great, sweetie. Can you bring Grandma's cane back upstairs now? She needs to use the washroom. Okay, thanks. The Wall Street Journal isn't the first place to cover this outside of medical journals. On a Substack called The Frontier Psychiatrists,
that boy needs therapy. I'm gonna kill you. That boy needs therapy.
In a post titled DSM-5 TikTok, they identified the three main motivators for people engaging in this behavior. The first is factitious disorder, known colloquially as Munchausen by internet. The motivation here is that the sick role itself is serving the psychological needs of the individual. Just doing it for attention could fall into this category, but the key thing to keep in mind is that the motivations are often unconscious and people are not fully aware of what is motivating them to engage in feigning illness or exaggerating an actual illness. Many of these individuals may have other underlying psychiatric disorders, especially personality disorders. Munchausen by internet people are more likely to play up the pity aspect of the disorder. So here's an example of what that might look like. But it doesn't have to be super dramatic. It could also just look like this.
Hello, I am Yoshi. I use any pronouns. Most people refer to me with he, him, I think. I am a little, specifically, I am 7 years old. I am agender. And non-binary. Oh, this is what I look like in the headspace. And that is it. I'm going to let either Ghost or Echo be fronting right now because we have stuff to do. But yeah, I hope you like everyone. I like everyone. Everyone is really nice. At least they try to be.
The second category is called malingering. This is not an illness, but rather a behavior where a person is intentionally feigning or exaggerating illness for a non-psychological reason, such as wanting to make money or get out of another responsibility. A child who puts a thermometer under a lamp to miss school because they would rather play video games would be malingering. On TikTok or YouTube, someone who uses fake Tourette's disorder to capitalize on monetized views, subscribers, and score brand partnerships deals would be malingering. A good example of this would be the Rose and Ticks account, which I've already showed you a couple times. That's this one.
Some for the counter.
Oh god.
Beans, beans, beans.
Rose and Ticks became kind of the poster child for faking Tourette's on the internet because her faking was so obvious as to be considered very disrespectful towards people who actually have the condition, as well as the fact that she was using the attention to direct traffic to her business. She has since deleted her social media presence as she got a lot of negative attention for this behavior, including being covered by some big drama channels on YouTube, including a video by Moist Critical. Another example of malingering would be that girl who I showed you that made the video about being neurodivergent while listening to headphones. She's using TikTok to send traffic to her OnlyFans account. And the TikTok to OnlyFans pipeline is something that I could do a whole video on, although it's already been covered pretty well by Brittany Venti, so you can check out her stuff if you want. The third and final category is trolling, which I'm sure you don't need defined, but they write, this is a scenario where people intentionally feign illness in order to cause drama online and rile people up, not because they enjoy the sick role or because they have another secondary motive, but because they find the act of trolling thrilling and satisfying in its own right. It's not always easy to tell if somebody is trolling, but here's how that might look.
Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Amitria. I am a member of the system. I have been in the headspace for quite some time, but keeping a low profile because I wanted to have an objective opinion, an objective view, so to speak, of the situation so that I could adequately diagnose us as having DID. And yes, a lot of people have been saying see a doctor. Literally living with a doctor in the headspace, all of us. I am able to evaluate them one-on-one, and yes, we all have DID. A doctor has diagnosed us, so you can stop with all of that go see a doctor nonsense because there's a doctor present at all times. You don't need to worry. Excuse my appearance. I'm just having a chill day lounging around, but I did study for 12 years. Yes. I don't believe that we should invalidate my credentials solely because I exist mostly in the headspace. I am still a professional, a medical professional. So take that as you will. Have a great day, everybody.
Now, the uninitiated could be forgiven for thinking that was an actual legitimate video from a faker trying to explain away the criticism of not having a clinical diagnosis for their DID, but real internet lurkers will recognize Lil Lunchbox, a notorious troll who's gone viral several times, mostly for claiming to be a clown and having to deal with clown oppression.
I'm used to being oppressed for being a clown. People think I'm joking. I'm not. I am 100% serious about this. I am a clown. It is my identity. When I wake up in the morning and I don't have my makeup on, I feel like I'm living a lie. The first thing I do when I wake up is put my makeup on. Do I take a shit when I first wake up? No, I put my makeup on. Do I eat breakfast when I first wake up? No, I put my makeup on. Do I feed my cat when I first wake up? No, I put my makeup on. I cannot function properly when I don't have my makeup.
On the other hand, Lil Lunchbox is a little too good at coming across as being off. So I'm sure some of these categories blend together sometimes, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, that's basically everything you need to know about fake disorder cringe, except for the last thing I wanted to talk about, which is the darkest aspect of all, and this is the concept of littles. You heard it mentioned earlier from one of the DID fakers talking about how their alter was 7 years old. This is a common theme that comes up in this community, and as you may expect, it can get weird.
This is what we do when our littles decide to front during intimate adult fun time, featuring Ollie trying to be a lapdog. Oh! So first of all, we had a version of the sex talk with all of them. Right now they're not aging, they're just kind of stuck at 5, 7, and 10 years old, so we didn't have a full sex talk. We will if they start aging, but we explained to them that it's not a bad thing, it's just a fun adult thing. We make sure to warn them if we're ever having a partner over, just so that they are not startled if anything happens. We also warn Marianne, who is primarily their caretaker in the headspace. We also make sure that every partner we have knows we're a system. Before anything gets even a little bit hot and heavy, we inform them that there is a possibility that a little might front. We watch their reaction very closely, and if they are not somebody that we trust with our littles, they are not somebody that we trust with our body.
I just want to make sure we're all clear on what we just heard. This woman is explaining how when she is preparing to potentially have sex with a partner, she'll explain to that person, oh, just so you know, at any point during the middle of our intercourse, I may suddenly switch into a 5-year-old child. So please act appropriately if that happens. There was another girl. I couldn't find the videos, unfortunately. I did show one of these clips on You Can't Stop Progress, but it was a while ago, and I can't remember exactly which episode. But basically, she was doing OnlyFans while also doing this whole DID thing and had a little, and people were reporting that, like, she would put like a video of herself having a bath on OnlyFans and switch into the little. So you see where this is going. Like she starts acting like a kid having a bath. I mean, this isn't really that uncommon when you consider that the term little comes from BDSM and the whole thing is just part of the kink community. In fact, here's a TikToker talking about their little while using the hashtag kink talk.
Small boy, baby, tiny, tiny boy, does not know anything.
Hello.
It's a
Yo, can I come?
Who the fuck needs a social life? I have the voices in my head to keep me company. And to think, those pesky doctors tried to silence them.
So yeah, basically there's an aspect to this that's just total pedo bait. All right, that's the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you all on the flip side. Peace the fuck out.
that boy needs therapy. Granny Gazoo, let's have it you. How when I count 3. That boy needs therapy.
He said I made fun of him for saying his Tourette's when they were clearly jokes.
Why is that a problem?
I don't know. Everything was a problem once the show ended. He was like, "Oh, she's anti-Semitic and she made fun of my Tourette's."
He had Tourette's?
Yeah, he has like Tourette's, but I didn't make fun of him. Like it's the same way he called me
Does
fat.
he really have, or is he just saying that to just be cool?
No,
like he
think
thinks it's great to be like woke or something.
I think he really has Tourette's.
Okay, well then that's a real problem.
Yeah, of course. But once that show ended, it's like she's anti-Semitic. She made fun of my Tourette's. So now I'm like an ableist.
Yeah.
But it's not Tourette's. Tourette's is like when you.
I have Tourette's syndrome.
No, Tourette's is when you're like, fuck this, just isn't that Tourette's? I love having a friend with Tourette's because now I can like have a soapbox for something. Oh, your TikTok should be about having Tourette's and like, you know.
I don't want my whole existence to be defined by the guy with Tourette's.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta like go for a thing that people will feel sorry for you for.
Do
Why
the
am I
show
looking
together.
at you as like this god? Because you're just as messed up as me. I mean, you got Tourette's, so you got something
like
wrong with your
OCD.
brain
It's like
too.
OCD.
So your brain is not wired all the way, right?
What? Yes.
Hey, it's like blind
My-
leading the blind. Like you're not. You
Yes,
can see
it's
clear.
the blind leading the blind. Damn.
But why are you so much better than me? Your bread has Tourette's. It's kind of funny. That's like your physical, that's like the bread's version of your hand. Knowing that we're like cool and friends, like it's fun to have someone like Tourette's, just like Moses is like my Middle Eastern. I never had a problem with Tourette's though. So I do think it's kind of cool because it's like fun, we can make Tourette jokes about the bread and stuff.
I mean, you're making all the jokes.
Oh, our waiter told us Tourette's TikTok is a big thing right now. I forgot to tell you. You need to
I'm
get on it.
not
What?
participating in that.
It's people trying to finish a sentence and they can't do
But
it.
that's not, I don't have that issue.
But just maybe something with your hand, just put it on TikTok. Maybe write something and see if you can write a word down without doing that.
Come on, I'm not like a fucking like paraplegic.
You know,
buddy, tweak my nipples.
Oh my god, it sounds like you have actual Tourette's. I know I always bring this up, but it does sound like you have Tourette's when you're screaming like that.
I mean, this is just some shitty ass listicle website.
Crap.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Tourette's are strong
It's
today.
not Tourette's, stop.
It is, because you can't control it. You
Oh my
literally
God, how
can't
do you
control.
know? You don't know anything.
I know, because you can't stop. I'm like, okay, stop monetizing. You just keep going with that.
Because it's funny. Stop. You're out of line.
Smoke that weed, baby.
Yep.
It's fucking 420.
He has Tourette's?
Yeah, smoke
I
that
don't know
weed,
what
motherfucker.
I think
he definitely has
Yeah,
Just
fucking
stop. You don't know
420,
anything
baby.
about
Are you
Tourette's.
kidding me? Yeah, it's fucking 4
He doesn't have Tourette's.
Fuck. I'm ready to see those
There's
pussy
something
boys
wrong with
on
him.
Monday.
No one just.
Can you just enjoy the video? Why do you need to diagnose his mental illness?
Not low blow. That's like retardation. Not to be mean.
Wait, you just called her retarded.
You called Dixie mental retardation, which is like, a lot of people think that's crossing the line.
I have, mental illness. I have some form of retardation in me. I don't think to me, it's not an offensive word. I was just like, oh, there's something off. So I was like, oh, she danced to the N word in 2020 when it just felt like an off thing.
After I got out of the ER, I didn't know what to do. I felt so crippled, but people love a crippled in bed, so it was fine. It's kind of like fucking a dead person. So now I'm like an ableist.